Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. Thank you so much for joining me today and for clicking to watch this video. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to do two items. It's a set. So the first is going to be a gentleman's scarf that I made for my friend Nathan. This is something he wanted for spring, hence why it's like really super light and airy, so it's not a very heavy type of scarf that you would wear in the winter. It's very nice and light, and he wanted something that would represent green earth and blue sky. So I have this nice dark green color, it's called ivy I think, and then I have this light blue color that I used to make the scarf for him. And of course I also made a matching hat for him. So as you can see, I have a nice toque here. The stitch is really simple, as you guys will see when we get started. This is something that will take you no time to make, so you can go ahead and get your materials. And what I'll do for this particular project is I will make two different parts to make these two different items, just so I don't have you guys watching a very long video to know how to do both. I'm going to do a part one to show you guys how to do the scarf, and then the part two is going to be how to do the hat. And that way, if you want to just make one or the other, you have the video to just go straight to, and you don't have to go through the same long video to just get to the one item that you want to make. Okay, so if you're interested to know how to make this nice beautiful project here, don't go anywhere. Go ahead and grab your stuff, and I'll see you guys at the work table. Come on, let's go. Okay guys, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the items we need for this project. So these are the two color yarns that we just grabbed from the yarn cabinet for this project. So like I said, my friend Nate wanted it to represent earth and sky, so I decided to do green for vegetation, and of course this blue for the sky. So the actual colors for this is actually called ivy, just in case you're looking for the exact name of the color, and this one is called blue, light blue. Okay, now just a little bit about this yarn. So as you can see, they're both from CraftSmart Value, which is Value TM, which is one of my favorite yarn to use because it's cheap and also it's very nice and soft. It's 100% acrylic, weight number 4. Recommended crochet hook size is 5.5 millimeter, which is US I9. Okay, and like I said, the color is called ivy. It's 354 yards long, or 198 grams if that's how you look at it. All right, and this is pretty much the exact same yarn, except it's called light blue. Okay, so the other items that I will be using: scissors to cut your yarn, and I'm going to be using a 7 millimeter crochet hook. So I'm not using the recommended 5.5, I'm using a 7. Why? Because I want my work to be nice and loose and very fluffy, and I think that's something that Nathan would like. And of course, because of the theme, I want it to look more kind of fluffy as well, not too tight. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm doing that. So let's get started. Okay, so to get this project started, we're going to do a foundation chain. I'm going to do about 180 foundation chains together, and to do that we're going to start with a slip knot. Okay, just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my 180 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay guys, so I have my chain of 80 here, 180, not 80 but 180. As you can see, it's quite long. Okay, so this is how long it is, and we're going to move on to our second row. So to start our second row, we're going to do double crochet stitches in the back loop of the chain, and to do that we're going to skip 2 chains. So 1, 2. This is not counting as a chain. The one that is right looped on the hook doesn't count, so we're starting from the one before the hook. So 1, 2, and in the third one here we're going to do a double crochet stitch but going in the back loop like this. Okay, and then we do our then we'll do our double crochet, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the next stitch in the back of it and do a second double crochet, and then we're going to move on to the next, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one more here to show you how it should look like, and then we will go ahead and let you guys finish that. So I'm just gonna do one more a little bit slower. So you yarn over, go into the back of the chain. Okay, bring it back. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 remaining loops. Okay, so this is how your first row of the double crochet should look like. So I want you guys to go ahead and do this all along your chain until you go all the way to the beginning of where we started our chain. And when you get there, come back and I will show you guys how to move on to the second row. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we have completed the first row of our gentleman's scarf here. As you can see, because I use this chunky because I use this big crochet hook, it comes off really chunky, and look at that, it's beautiful, it's very stretchy. And of course, as we continue to make this, it will just be nice and soft. This yarn is super nice as well. So speaking of moving on to the next row, let's go ahead and do that. And to do the next row, it's a little bit of a different stitch. So we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work so that we're working from the back. And then we're going to do from the very first stitch after the hook, this stitch right here, we're going to go ahead and do our single crochet in there. Okay, and then we're going to pretty much do single crochets along this work and only going into the back loops. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that a little bit closer. So as you can see here, we have these V stitches. Okay, and if we were just doing a regular single crochet, we would be going through it like this, but because we want to create the waviness in this scarf, we're going to go in the back loop only, and then bring back our yarn. We have 2 loops, we yarn over, we go through both. Okay, so that is our single crochet stitch in the back loop, and we're going to do this again all along. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys what I have done so far here. So as you can see, this is how it looks. It's already started to create that wave here. Okay, so as you can see, the double crochet stitch is a little bit more wider, the single crochet stitch is a little bit shorter, and this pattern is going to create that like large and small, and it's going to make it look super nice. So I want you guys to go ahead and continue to do these single crochet stitches in the back loop all along your work until you get back to this beginning here. When you have come to the last stitch, which is this one here, the second last, I should say. So this is your last, this is the second last. When you get to very last, second last here, come back to the video and I will show you guys how to finish it off together and then turn and start our next row. Okay, so go ahead and finish off your single crochet row. All right, my friends, so I have come to the end of my second row, and as you can see here, this is how the work looks so far. The scarf is quite big because it's for a man, and hence why it's called a gentleman's scarf. And so like I said, to come all the way to the second last stitch and then come back. The reason for that is because to go into this final stitch, instead of going only in the back loop to do your single crochet, I often go through both loops just like that, and it just creates a little bit more of a nice and straight edge here. And that's how I do pretty much all of my work. Whenever I go into the back loop, on the final stitch in the row, I go through both loops. Okay, so I'm going to start the second row. And just to let you guys know, this is now this first row and this second row is our repeat row. Okay, so I am going to show you guys how to go back to doing this double crochet stitch, and to do that we're going to do chain 2. Okay, just like that. We're going to turn our work so we can work in the front side again, and in the very first stitch here from the hook, we're going to do our double crochet, but of course just in the back loop. Okay, so we're going to do our first double crochet right there, and then of course we're going to move on and go and do the same thing in the second row, oh sorry, in the second stitch, and then in the third stitch, and then so on and so forth. And this is how we're going to pretty much continue to do this work. Okay, so as you can see here, it's going to be nice and straight. You just have to play with your stitches so that they kind of snap into places, but you're going to do this until you get to the end. When you get to the end, like I said just 2 seconds ago, don't forget to go through both loops for this final stitch before you chain one, and then repeat this row of single crochet. Okay, so the pattern is going to be a double crochet in the back loop, a single crochet in the back loop, a double crochet in the back loop, a single crochet in the back loop, and so on and so forth. So this is where I'm going to let you guys build up your scarf until you have the size that you're looking for, because I don't know exactly how many of the in this color that I'm going to do. I am going to just kind of work with it, but I think my scarf is going to be about that wide from this hand to that hand. So which means I will do half in this green, and then which is the ivy, and then we'll go ahead and switch to the light blue in the second half of it. Okay, so I would like you guys to go ahead and build up in this color. If you wish to do your scarf in just one solid color, of course go ahead and just get the size that you're looking for, and then come back to the video at the end to be able to finish it off. If not, then come back when you have it half done, so I can show you guys how to change to the light blue color, and then we will go ahead and build up the second half of the scarf before we finish the project. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys in a bit. See ya. Okay guys, so I have the length that I'm looking for this green color, or ivy if you want to be politically correct with the color. But as you can see here, this is what I have so far. This is how it looks on one side. This is how it looks on the other side. You can see the waviness of it. It's very masculine, it's very nice, hence why it's a gentleman's scarf. Anyways, so I have done 6 rows total here. And just to recap again, we did a row of double crochet, and then we did a row of single crochet, double crochet again, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. So these 6 rows that I have are 3 rows of double crochet and 3 rows of single crochet, and that is why we have this wavy pattern on our scarf, which is super cool and I love it so much. And again, because we're using a large size crochet hook, it's very fluffy and very soft and very stretchy. Anyways, I'm talking too much about this beautiful scarf, and I'm sure you like yours too, just like I like mine. But I'm gonna show you guys how to move on to changing our color. And as you can see, after I finished my the 6th row, I cut off the green yarn. I apologize I didn't do that on camera, but I pretty much cut that off there. And this is where we're going to connect our light blue color for the sky. Okay, all right. So this is our light blue color here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that on my finger. Okay, and then the way I connect the different colors, or the way I change the different colors. So as you can see, if I was just doing a normal single crochet here, I would yarn over and go through and pull this, and that's how you finish off your single crochet. But because we're changing color, I pretty much go through the final stitch here. Oops. I go through the final stitch, I bring it back. I have 2 loops like this, and the tail of the green yarn wire cut is hanging. So I'm gonna hold it with my back finger like this, and then I'm going to take my blue color, as you can see here, and I'm going to just yarn over and bring it in and pull it through that space. And then I will go ahead and pull all these. Oops, let's start that again. Great bloopers. There you go. So we're just gonna do it like this, and then I'm going to take my hook off so I can pull and pull, so it's a little bit tighter. And now that I have that, our next row is going to be a double crochet row, because the last stitch that we did, or the last row we did, is a single crochet. Okay, so to do our double crochet row, we're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and then we're going to turn our work this way. And then, just like we've been doing for the whole project, we're going to do our double crochet going into the back loop, and that is starting right from the first stitch from the hook. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and continue to do your double crochet stitches all along this work. And I'm not going to show you guys all the way to the end, because if you have come as long as you have so far, you know exactly what you're doing. You know how to do the double crochet. You know that when you get to the end of this row, instead of going through the back loop only for the final stitch, you go through both loops. So you know, all that kind of fun stuff that we do to make our work look nice and neat. Okay, So this is pretty much where I'll leave you guys off to build up your work. So as you can see, this nice light blue color here, it looks a little bit white on camera just because it doesn't, some of these light colors doesn't come off as they should look, but when I do the pictures with this after the project is done, you will see the actual colors, very nice and clear. But we're going to continue to do a few rows of this. So we're going to do the double crochet stitch to the end. When we finish that, we turn it around and we start our single crochet, and then we alternate like we've been doing this green color. And you're going to go ahead and build, probably if you're changing colors, you can do however many rows you want to build up the size of your scarf. But for me, I am going to do probably about 8 rows, 6 to 8 rows, because I would like it to be a little bit wider than the green color. But I will let you guys choose what you want to do with your own work. But for me, when I'm done my 8 rows of this light blue color, I will come back on the camera so I can show you guys how to finish off our work and be done for good, because the scarf will be finished. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have completed the size that I'm looking to have in this gentleman's scarf. So as you can see, what I wanted was to have less rows of the green color and then a little bit more of this light blue color. So as you can see here, I have 7 rows of this, and this is also a correction. I think I said that I did 6 rows of the green, but it's actually 7. And then I did 9 rows of this light blue color. So altogether we have 16 rows in this beautiful gentleman's scarf. Okay, so I have it all done. It's about 70 inches long, and I believe we started with 80. We started off with 180 chains to be able to get the foundation for this, and that's pretty much it. So I have the size that I'm looking for, and as you guys can see here, the stitch is super beautiful. Look at this, like it's so nice and it's so stretchy. Look at this, like it literally stretches so easily and it's so soft. So I really love this scarf, and I hope Nathan will as well. Anyways, so we are at the end, so I'm just gonna show you guys how to finish it off here. I've already cut off the bundle of yarn that's left off of this, so I'm just gonna show you guys how to finish off my scarf here. And so I have 2 more stitches to go, so we're going to go ahead and do our double crochet in the second last stitch, and then we're going to finish it off here with a double crochet stitch, but we're going through both of these loops. And it's not good that I cut it off in advance, because now there you go. So we're just gonna do that and finish this off. There you go. So this is the last stitch that we're doing for this scarf. We're not doing any kind of borders, we're not putting any kind of tassels on it at all. It's a gentleman's scarf. He just wanted it nice and simple, so we're going to just end our project here. So what I'm going to do right here is just kind of do one of these guys here, which is to fasten it off, and it's done. And I'm going to let me just put my crochet hook away, and I'm going to do one of this. It's kind of fasten it right there so it's nice and tight. I'll do it one more time just to be safe and to secure it even more. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the excess yarn off right there, and that's done. And then I'm going to just reverse this section here and kind of bury my knot so that you don't see it. There you go. Oops, it popped out, but let's try that again. Anyways, it works, you guys. Right now, because I'm actually taping, it just doesn't want to work. You know, it usually works, but anyways, so just something like that so you don't see it. And we will do the same with the tail where we started off our work. This is where we started off with our foundation chain. I will do the same thing here. And of course, do the same thing with your work. Or the other option you have is to weave in your ends. Please do so if that is what you prefer. This is what I prefer, therefore I do it this way. Okay, it's not a big deal. This is supposed to be fun and exciting, so don't stress yourself out how to do it. There you go. So I'm gonna put these 2 guys away, and then we're going to look at our scarf really fast again. So there you go. So this is how our scarf looks like. It's very nice. These are client chosen colors, so, and I actually end up loving them as well. I didn't think I would do anything like this, but Nate wanted something like this and I end up loving it as well. But that's pretty much it. So this is going to be the end of this video here. The next thing I'm going to do is make him a beanie or hat that matches this. So for part 2 of this video, that's what we're gonna be doing. So this is part 1, is to make this nice beautiful scarf. The second part is going to be how to do the beanie. So stay right tuned so that you can make the set. Also, if you just want to make the scarf or just make the beanie, I'm going to make it so that there's 2 different videos. That way you don't waste your time going through this video to get to the beanie or the other way around. Okay, all right, so for now I will say bye bye here, and I will see you guys in my next video when we do the I will see you guys in another video where we make the hat of this. It may not be back-to-back videos, but if it is, all good. But if not, then I'll see you guys when we have to make the hat for this. Okay, all right, see you guys later. Ciao ciao.